What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. It's been a while since we've gotten a statue in. At least for me, it feels like a while. Probably been a week. But today we finally got Dante Devil May Cry 5 by Prime 1 Studios. I've always loved this statue. I thought it was phenomenal. Very, very special video game statue. And I'm a huge fan of Dante. So here is the box. Now, I delayed buying this because I had my HMO Dante. I didn't know where to put it. And I just really struggled in committing until I could find a spot for it. And once I started seeing it in hands, I replayed the video game on PS5 and I was like, gosh dang it, this game is so fun. And so I freaking just pulled the trigger. Got it through Spec Fiction. It took them about 2 months to get it to me when it was in stock. On Prime 1, we had to import it via boat. Now this box is huge and very heavy. Cost $110 just to ship it to me 2 states away. I forget how much Sideshow was charging, but they were charging a lot for this as well. I was debating with the Deluxe or the regular. I almost bought the regular because the spot I had planned to put them, I could only fit the regular. But then I decided, screw it, I want the Deluxe because it gives me the Devil Sword Dante and the Sparta Sword, you know, which are crucial. You know, it's like buying a Zelda statue where Link only comes with his freaking Kakiro sword and not the Master Sword. I was like, oh, that'd be stupid. So I decided to go Deluxe. I think in general, always go Deluxe, no matter what. Even if you don't plan to display it, go Deluxe. This has 2 layers. Finally. Alright, so there is instructions. So, of course, they're advertising their Virgil. Now, I would love to collect this whole line. I think they all look phenomenal. Let's see how good he is, and if I could come up with space to collect the whole line. If there's a will, there's a way. Now, top layer, we have pretty much all the switch outs. These swords are huge. So we'll just set that aside. Let's get this base out first. Oh yeah. I can already tell you now, this is going to be a sick statue. Lots of styrofoam on it though. Jupiter. This paper just stuck to it. Yeah, there's styrofoam everywhere. Oh, yeah, goodness. All right, so step 1, it says just to put Dante in. There's also this, which I believe actually goes like that. I'll freaking get all that off later. Although it looks like you want to put this second. So let's get Dante out. Now, I do think this is Dante's best look. Having recently played most of the games, Devil May Cry 5 is definitely my favorite game. Now, this is heavy. Good weight. Okay, so there it is. So much styrofoam. freaking blow it onto the ground and vacuum after. Such a sick looking bass, God. Alright, then you have this little rock piece, which you want to put under his skirt or trench coat and have it go. Like this. Alright, like that. Next is a bunch of bass parts. Let me get this out as well, the Deluxe orb. Yeah, one reason I wanted the Deluxe as well, it comes with this proximity piece right here. So basically get one of the red orbs, because you collect orbs throughout the game if you haven't played it. So these orbs are crucial to upgrading your character. Alright, next you get these different monster parts. Now the instructions are kind of difficult because it just has a really big close-up of the monster, but you're like, alright, where does that go? Yeah, I think this goes right here. Yeah, that was right. For one of them, well, I skipped 2 steps ahead. You guys are going to see a ton of changes to this cave in these upcoming days to weeks. I've done so much changing. I really just need to do a full room tour again because so much has changed. Alright, so we do have 2 rebars, which I don't think that is it. 2 rebars with 2 tiny little holes. And it goes before a foot. So that's the problem, is the instructions are so confusing. Alright, so I see a bunch of rebar. Yeah, and that's where I'm just like, have to come back to that. Alright, so it looks like a left arm, I believe, or is this a right arm? Looks like that's a left arm. Alright, done. Alright, here's a big part of the base. It has this giant wing that comes off, and looks like it goes right here. Alright. Yeah, so this is part of the monster giant wing. So this is really going to create a big width space. God, these styrofoam bugs me. See, I wish they'd give a more outer angle on some of these smaller parts like this rebar. So I'm trying to find where it goes. I think it's right here. So I do see some small holes here. So I think that's correct. Like that, 2 little holes were there. So I'm going to assume that's accurate. Yeah, it looks accurate. Although, do I have it in right? has to be like this. It's not very tight, it's loose, but whatever. I'll figure it out later. There's a few more monster parts. All right, next we have another left arm. So, yeah, another one right here, depending on your pose. Because he does have tons of switch outs. This one will have the sword upwards. Unless this is the other arm. Yeah, that actually is accurate. Had the arm. It's funny, the arm fits in the other peg. So like that. So he has so many switch outs, I need to keep these things. But for example, like if you want to do the dual pistol look, which is actually the smallest way to make it the shortest version of the statue. I don't know how often I'll do dual pistols, just because I barely even use the dual pistols in the game. Alright, so they fit nice and snug. Obviously we need to get the head now. That's all the parts from the bottom case, and then the rest is up here. So let's get Dante's head out. He only has one portrait, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'll do some close-ups, but it does look absolutely fantastic. And it fit in there perfectly, no seams or visible joints or anything like that. There's an additional hand. Now this is like step, what I believe is number 2, but it's in this other box. And it looks like it's over here somewhere. Yep, right there. So the claw coming out right here. And all right, there's a bunch of tiny little pieces in here as well. Now, if you are going to do the dual pistols or like the shotgun and the pistol, which is a good combo, you can display this giant metal. Yeah, this is metal. This is really nice. Like, look how big that is. Huge sword. Very detailed, very cool looking. Right here on his back, he has a big peg, so we can insert this on his back. Let me just... Let's see. All right, looks like it's like... So like that, it kind of hits his skirt in the back, but it looks like that's the angle it goes in. And it looks like it's all the way in, so yeah, it just hits his little trench coat a little bit. Now there's a bunch of small parts. Yeah, little tiny things in the base. I'm not gonna do that while you guys are on camera, but here it is, Dante. I'm gonna play with all the different switch outs, see which one I like, go over it in the full video review. I'm gonna finish off the base, and I'll give you my final thoughts and review on this bad boy. But so far, loving it. Alrighty, so it came with 3 tiny little, like, wire type things, and they're color coded, but it's hard to see the color, and they don't fit 100% good. But I figure I got it pretty in good. So there's a little one here, a medium sized there, and then the largest one I believe goes right there. So you also get some additional things for the giant rocket launcher, which actually I used a ton. That one does not come whole. As you can see, it has 2 additional switch outs. Then you also get this little bad boy, which you can insert into his back if you're not going to do the sword on the back like that. Now the sword looks great there, but I also want to display him holding the sword because I love that. And as you can see, you know, like, look how big these are. Huge. Most likely I'll be displaying this sword in either the hand or the shotgun. So let's test that out. But as you can see here, the dual pistol look does look awesome as well. It looks very natural. The pistols look great. They are different colors. This one's black, that one's silver. Ebony and Ivory is the name of them. And then as you can see, this massive metal sword, which frankly, I didn't like how it pegged in, just because it's hitting his skirt. So I probably won't ever display that again outside of right now. I'll probably have him just holding the swords. And he does have 3 sword options. So let's test that out. So here it is with this covering what that pegged into. Now it's a strong magnet. That thing flew off my finger into there, but it looks very natural and looks great. Now here is him holding the sword. Now these swords are all metal and very heavy. They are not light, they are not PVC, they're metal, they're heavy, and they look amazing. Now one would worry, you know, that thin little wrist, could that support the weight of a giant metal sword? One strategic thing they did is they had it lean against his shoulder. So it is actually taking off some of that weight. So because of that, I don't think you have to worry about this sword breaking that wrist from weight. And it is, you know, these do have pretty good pegs. I mean, this thing is weighty. You know, it's like, look how big that is. That is a huge sword. It feels like a 1/3 scale sword. You know, obviously Dante does use massive swords in the game. So, but yeah, when you use the sword, it makes the statue like 30 inches plus tall, where with the bone and ivory, it's only 25 inches. So depending on your display case, you can do either options. I do plan to display a sword, not necessarily this one. I do like this one. It's very cool. I do plan to switch out regularly, but I want to see those bad boys. So let's check out the shotgun now though. Alrighty, now here's the shotgun now. That is huge. That makes it super deep. Look at that. Double barrel shotgun. It's huge, it's heavy. It looks great. It definitely causes the depth to be a big problem I can see in most display cases, just because that's a big shotgun. I have my other Dante actually using a shotgun, and this one's huge. So there you have it. See just how deep that will be with the sword, the base. You know, this thing will take up a good 30 inches of depth. So I like the shotgun, but I do want to try just the hand because I think that looks fantastic as well. And here's the hand pose. And frankly, I think I might like the hand the most because it really conveys Dante's personality of like, bring it. So it's very simple, you know, it's just him saying, really just bring it. He has his sword, he's in action pose. He just clearly slain this monster and then he's ready for the next bad guy to show up. So I think for now, I'll be displaying this pose. You know, it is a separate arm switch out actually, so it's not the exact same, you know, position. But I do like this arm pose quite a bit. Now, I'm glad I'm going to have this statue higher up because I feel like this is a statue you want to have, you know, like on top of a stuva, for example, which is my plan. So, yeah, I definitely am digging this look. This looks really good. It's probably my best look so far. Second favorite might actually be the dual pistols. I like the shotgun, but I don't think I'll be using it. I do like it though. You can see just how big it is. I have my other Dante using the shotgun, so I'll probably just keep him with the shotgun and sword and him with one of those two swords. Let's check out one of those bad boys now. As you can see, there's so many switch outs, which is both a good and a negative, you know, because sometimes you'll get switch outs you don't care for, and then it's just like a waste. And then it's also displaying these. Like I have to just figure out how to display all this in my, you know, cabinet where I keep all my spare parts. But let's check out the next sword. The way I really like this though is this is actually the progression of the game. You start out with dual pistols and that sword, and then you get the shotgun, and then you upgrade your sword, then you upgrade your sword, and then you get that as the final weapon. So I really like how I'm basically upgrading myself like in the video game. Alrighty. So this, oh my gosh, this sword is so freaking cool. The Sparta Sword. Now he used this sword all throughout all of the video games of Devil May Cry. You know, it's the legendary Sparta Sword. So, it's funny, they have a little arrow thing right there. I wonder what that is. Little QC issue that wasn't fixed. Classic. Look at that. So this has a few almost like eyes or gems throughout it. Not all of them, but it looks like, you know, just skin and bone attached to the sword. This one's very heavy as well, even probably heavier than that one. That one's very heavy. But like I said, you know, it leans against his shoulder, so if you are getting this, I would recommend you do this extremely slowly so you don't scratch up that shoulder. You know, you gotta do it very gentle. Hold the hand and hold the sword and slowly insert. But yeah, that looks totally badass. I love that look. Now there's one more sword and an additional switch out. So this is just crazy how much you get with it. It really does make you understand why this costs, you know, like $1,150, you know, because it has so many freaking switch outs. Alrighty, here is the last sword, the Devil Sword Dante. So this is the final sword you actually get in the video game when you're fighting against Virgil at the very end. You know, because Dante's losing, so he has to upgrade his sword. This sword has a very unique look as well. So here at the tip, you have some sort of red gem, and then it almost has like a furry look. You have 4 talon like claws, like bird claws almost. And then this, you know, almost like furry look with the sword on the side. Definitely very, very cool. Not as cool as that one. I will say that one is the coolest so far. This one is cool, but I like that one more. I don't know how often I would display this one. I think I'd stick between that or the standard sword. And let me show you the standard sword. You know, that's how that one looks. But you can see they added like this fine texture work. Definitely very sick looking with that like skull and the handle. Very, very cool. You know, like I said, these are very heavy and feel very high quality. So there's one more switch out we got to check out, and then we can move on to the review. There are just so many parts. Alrighty, and here is the final switch out. Goodness, so many switch outs. You basically get the rocket launcher. Now this does come in 3 parts. You have to insert this, and that is metal. It's crazy how much metal they use. They did not gyp you at all on this statue. And then there's that little pull to unlock pose, but you can just see like there's this micro detail. Man, I can barely read that. Caution, target, safety, fire. You know, it does look a little dusty. Yeah, it's definitely dusty. You can see that dust just coming off because this sits in the factory. And it's like, look at this dust. So definitely quite dusty, as you can see, just straight out of the box. I wish factories would dust statues before they ship them, or if they're just gonna leave them there for months, you know, sitting in a Chinese sweatshop Now this one is a separate arm as well, so it's not a little, insert like the other ones. You get 2 additional arms, all those switch outs, so just tons of switch outs. In addition, you get this giant red orb. Look how big that is. Love the detail in the mouth and the eyes, the back. Very cool looking proximity piece. So the Deluxe was $11.50. The regular is $900, $8.99 to be exact. Now with the regular, you're going to get the dual pistols, the shotgun, and this sword. The Deluxe, you're getting that. So I personally want the Deluxe for the proximity piece and the 2 additional swords. I don't know how often I would display that weapon. I mean, granted, yes, I use that weapon quite a bit, but I don't think I'll display it. I think I'll honestly just keep that in the box. I much prefer that sword. I think for now I'm going to do that sword with this hand. Then obviously I have the proximity piece, and then I'll regularly switch out either the swords, pistols, or shotgun. So I think that's it. But I think I might just keep this one back in the box, just because I don't think I'll plan to display it outside of right now. So let's get him back in the final position I plan to display him in, which is with that sword. All right, before we get to that, one thing I wanted to show you guys as I'm putting away these parts is just the extreme detail. Ebony and ivory. In addition, there's like a photo right there. I'm not sure who that is. And the same thing is on this one. Look at this. Ebony and ivory, and then a photo. Prime One went all out on this piece. I'm telling you now, this is really a premium piece. Like, opening this up now, it screams premium in every possible way. Like, I'm really digging this statue. Now, if all future video game statues are as good as this, then oh boy, I'm in for a treat. Like Kratos, Aloy, Jin. Oh. Alrighty, folks. So this is probably my second favorite look as well, or tied with the first. Holding the gun and then just the pistol. I think I prefer the pistol, honestly, over that shotgun. I wanted to show you the shotgun up close. You have this... Yeah, it's not like super detailed. Honestly, I feel like the pistol's more detailed. This is just like a very simple looking shotgun. Granted, I know it's game accurate, but I frankly think the pistol's better and it makes it way less deep, as you can see. So I really dig this look as well. Sword with just the pistol looks awesome. So let's check out this further. Man, I feel like all I'm doing is showing you parts and not even reviewing it. So let's start with this base. So you have a destroyed monster, basically, who has, I'm not sure which monster this is, but clearly he's been sliced in half and you can see his brains and guts. There is his face, some teeth. He had a wing, and then those probably look like some sort of arms or things. I remember fighting monsters like this in the game. So you have this, and it looks really good, like the gloss and paint. I don't know what to call that. And then rebar, destroyed road, because these monsters were destroying the city. So I think conceptually they absolutely nailed it with capturing the video game and Dante. The whole destroyed monsters and just everything going on here. Now that looks like damage to me. I don't think that should be like that. Luckily, that's in the back. But like, just the fine detail on these little things, they almost look like little brains. And then here's the rebar. Now those did not fit as much as I'd like. I'm gonna use some putty just because they came out so easily and I don't want them to come off when I dust the statue. But overall, the base for me, conceptually and just overall looks, is a 10 out of 10. And then you come to Dante. So let's check out his boots. They look fantastic. It has extreme texture detail, definitely 3D made. You know, so it just has extreme texture. It's very similar to like their G.I. Joe and Witcher statues in terms of detail. His belt buckle, the folds. Excellent paint job, looks just like the Proto. Here's the face. You can see it has like his stubble. I'm I'm probably just going to take off that head for you guys later. The wing looks excellent on the base. Like I said, the sword is phenomenal. The jacket, the ripped shirt, his main trench coat, as you can see, just looks fantastic. Yeah, I love this trench coat. So sick looking. It definitely looks just like Dante out of the video game, I will say. Absolutely fantastic piece. And for me, overall, gets a 10 out of 10. No doubt. Now, I'm going to remove that sword and gun and that wing and take it into my video game room and see how it stacks up next to my Witcher statues and scale-wise everything. Alrighty, so before we show everything off, let's just look at the comparison next to HMO Dante. Now, HMO Dante, prior to Prime 1, has been touted, and in my opinion, was the best Dante in the market. I can immediately say Prime 1 has topped it and is superior. I think Prime 1 has a better face, better texture work, better base. The switch outs, you know, like the HMO, this sword is not metal, and it's not nearly as detailed. Here's their shotgun. It's a lot smaller. Again, it looks very simplistic as well, but granted, it's from Devil May Cry 1. You know, look at that face, and then look at that face. Yeah, this one doesn't have super extreme texture. You know, it has very good sculpt, no doubt, but it doesn't have like that extreme texture like this. This one has a crazy base where it has tons of these orbs and they're supposed to have like some sort of effect if you shine a UV light on them. I haven't actually tested that out, but obviously that orb looks way cooler. That's just one though. This one has them all throughout the base, which is cool. I mean, they're both absolutely fantastic looking statues, don't get me wrong. I love them both, but Prime 1 is king when it comes to Dante and is the ultimate Dante statue in my opinion. Alrighty, so I have decided I'm gonna do this pose for right now, not the pistol forward. I think I wanna do it like this, because that one, I don't know, I mean, I love the pistol, but you guys tell me, what do you like better? Holding the pistol or this hand? Because this one conveys Dante's personality probably slightly better with that like bring it pose, where the other one, he's attacking, which I got that one as well. They're both awesome. God, it's hard. First world problems when you can't decide what switch out you want to use. That's a nice thing. It's a switch out. You can change it anytime you want. But yeah, he looks absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, he's really, really impressive. I love it. Now we got to get Aloy and Kratos, Jin Sakai, and Ellie. And then this wall is basically complete, unless I decide to change something up. I did pre-order the new Bruce Lee statue, the 1/4, since I sold my 1/3. I want to sell that one and just have one really good 1/4. But yeah, this Dante, freaking awesome. Love it. Absolutely amazing. If you have a chance to jump on this, I know it's sold out on Sideshow. Prime 1, I'm not 100% sure if it's sold out yet, but this is a phenomenal statue. It's very, very impressive. I think it even is slightly better than the Witcher statues in terms of impressiveness. And those ones are all extremely good. The one thing I like better about those is the underbase, where it has like this underbase right here with the logo. I would love an underbase as well for this. You know, I mean, the base is phenomenal overall, but I would like an underbase. I love underbases. I'm a big fan. Like, these Witcher bases are so good. This one does seem a bit more busy, you know, where this is just like some tree and dead carcasses. These are all such good bases. Ah, they're so good. Dante definitely is very fitting next to them as well. So yeah, overall, I'm very, very impressed. 10 out of 10, absolutely amazing, definitely fitting, and it fits my collection perfectly. Never gonna leave it. Anyways, folks, let me know your thoughts and comments below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.